Good morning, this is Angela Thoma with Dogwood Paper Arts, coming to you from Sweet Home, Oregon. Welcome back to my channel and welcome aboard the favorite recipes journal tutorial. Today we are starting with ephemera. And the reason I want to start with ephemera is that I have learned through making these journals and stuff that if you have ephemera and pockets to begin with, even if you don't have enough for the whole journal, but if you have some to start with, this is half the battle to making a complete journal and finishing it. Let me repeat, it is half the battle to making a complete journal and finishing it. Because if you make your journal all the way through, what I've found, and this is what really happened to me on the my spring journal, was that I did not realize how much it was going to take, how much time it was going to take to fill in that journal and all those pockets. So what we want to do is kind of come up with a system. Now, I've learned this from Gail Augustinelli, is that you kind of have to come up with a system of how many pages you have per signature and where your center signature is, how many pieces or pockets or ephemera holders do you want on the right side of that center, and how many do you want on the left side. So I've kind of started narrowing mine down a little bit to 4 to 5 per half, but really that's almost too much. So, you know, it could be 4 and 3, 3 and 4, 5 and 4, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, whatever you choose for pockets and such on each side of the centerfold of your signature. Now, the reason that it's a good idea to do that is because if you make a pocket like this for your journal and you think that's kind of boring, so you add another pocket to it, well, now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets to fill. That is 4 pieces of ephemera for this pocket. So you see what I'm getting at? You have at least 1 per pocket. So you have, say you have 10 pockets in that first signature. That's 10 pieces of ephemera. But I always almost always make my pockets so that they have to have 2 pieces of ephemera in them. That's 20 pieces of ephemera. So be thinking about that it may double or triple or quadruple in your journal. And that's what fluffs it up so much. So on this piece, this is why I want to start with ephemera. And I want to start with some belly bands. And I want to make belly bands that you can write on. They look like they're just a faux pocket, really. So we're going to start with this one. Now, I started one earlier and I don't know why, it just kept messing up. So we're going to start a new one here. And we're going to start it on a piece of coffee dyed paper. That was part of my problem, was I had started with a piece of paper that had words on it, and that messed me all up. So what we want to do is start here, and we're going to cut this at 4 inches this way. We want to go down 4 inches and cut the long way. Does that make sense? So find your 4-inch mark, line your paper up. Okay, so there's our 4 inches. Now we're going to want to fold this one over, or in half. Doesn't matter if this is the front or the back, we're going to decorate it. Okay, now what we want to do is this piece here, this bottom one, it needs to come up somewhere in here. So we want to leave room up there because we're going to need a tuck spot to tuck in our little diamond. This is what holds the whole thing closed. So I'm not going to press this down yet. I'm just going to put this up to here. And I can see I have enough space there now. So what I want to do is just come down to one corner, line these up, and give it just a little press. Don't press all the way across yet. So what we're going to do now is measure up to that little, where we did that little crease, and that is 1 and almost 11/16. So come over to this side, 1 and 11/16. Give yourself a little line, and you're going to cut this side, the closed side, right here, up to that 1 and 11/16 inch. Cut right along that line. Or do the best you can. It's okay if it's off a little bit. See, mine's off a little bit. Okay, now we're going to fold this one up. And it doesn't need to come right up to the edge. We just want it to come up to here and have a place to fold. And then let's press it down. And we have our first fold. Now this one, remember, these are just false pockets. This one is not going to fold all the way up to here because remember, it's the same depth as this one. We're going to leave a space here and bring it up and then fold it. Let me show you what the difference here is. It's about 1/4 of an inch between there and there. That fold and this fold. You can see that they actually end up almost lining up, but they don't really. See that? Let me highlight this line for you. Okay, now let me highlight this one so you can see them. With the coffee dyed paper, it's a little bit hard, isn't it? Okay, see here? Oh, I think I got around on the wrong line. Yep, I did. I folded it wrong. But anyway, you can see there's just a little difference there. Now, coffee dyed paper can crack. So if you see yours cracking, this is a good time to use your washi tape on that little bit of an area. Or you could use, excuse me, you could also use, what do you call it? Fabric, or you could use, I don't know. This here washi tape is Tim Holtz. I don't know what I was thinking of. Sorry, I'm trying to think along the lines of this thing here, this belly band. This is a Tim Holtz, and it is kind of a fabric washi tape. I'm going to go ahead and apply that right there just to secure that a little bit. Maybe. Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe. Oh, come on. If anything could go wrong, today is the day, I'll tell you. There are days like that, aren't there? I'm just going to run some glue along this. Come on out. The reason I squeeze it onto my table is because the minute I try to squeeze it onto my work, it's going to blob out like crazy right out the top. And I still won't get the goobers out of it. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to flip that over and clean up my mess. Gonna fold this over. And then I'm going to clean it up. Going to open it. And I'm going to clean off this side. We don't want that taping everything down on us. And then we're going to go to this side, and don't cut your fold there. Okay. Now, let's make this piece. Let's make sure this is going to fit, and it is. Now we need to cover that. I'm going to cover it with this red. Or should we use some of that? Ooh, that would be pretty. What can we get out of this one? Can almost get there. We'll go just a little bit closer. There we go. Now let's cover this with that. So this square, I'll tell you what size it is here in just a minute. This square is a Creative Memories, and it is 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/4 inch, or 3.17 centimeters. Okay. I don't know if this is still available through them. I think they have separate punches now. And I am going to ink up that. And I'm going to ink it up all the way around. Now, if you want to decorate this, now is the time to do that. If you don't want to decorate it, then you don't have to worry about it. But it just so happens I have a piece over here. And I think I will put that on there. But I'm going to have to cut it off just a little bit. But that's okay, because there's no reason to keep it on there. So I think I'll do it just about like that. I'm going to have to cut a little bit off here. And I think I'll just go ahead and cut a little bit off of here. Let's just to kind of give it some, it's not perfect. It does not have to be perfect. Sometimes our perfection gets us in trouble. And that's one thing I love about this kind of creativity, is that you are good to create just about any way you want to create. And it's all about creativity and feeling inspired and going with the flow and learning to love what you do and not apologize for any of it, because it's you and it's wonderful you, and you are wonderful. You're all wonderful. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Now this feels a little bit weakish to me, so let's cut a second one of those, kind of like if we had those little circles where you tie the string around them, the little button tie things. Let's just cut a second one and make it a little stiffer like we do those. And I think because this is going to be the back of it, that perhaps we better put a backing on it as well. So let's see what we can, how about this, Domino's sugar? Why not? Oh, I used to love to see all the different bags of sugars and stuff in the store. So many fun things. So we're just basically cutting that out like a piece of ephemera. Now this is going to go this way, and only part of this one is going to show, right down here. So let's put domino granulated there like this. Because your eye will see it and say, oh, Domino's granulated sugar, or, you know, S&H. Is it S&H? No, that's green stamps. Anyway, you'll say, oh, sugar. It's sugar. Your eye will automatically know. There we go. Now, if you like this side better, put it on this side. If you like that side better, keep it on that side. That's candy. I'm almost liking this. Now we need a piece up here that's going to tie this all down. So I have this, but you know, it, like I said, it doesn't feel strong enough. I think I'll attach it to this one and then we'll trim it down. It doesn't need to be this long either. So let's just attach these two. I hear you asking me something. What is it? What are you asking? I can't quite hear it. You want me to give you all the measurements? I will. I think that's what I hear somebody saying. Well, what is the measurements? I can't make it if you don't tell me. Well, I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to tell you that yours may be different. Because you may not make your pages as wide as I do. You might be making a traveler's notebook, which is smaller. Okay, so we went with the blue down here. Do we want to go with blue? What do we want? What do we want in there? Do we want that up there? What do we want? Do we want to put that up there? But this is going to cover it. Not completely, but yes, it is going to cover it. Or just, do we want that? Let's go with the blue since we have blue right there. So you can cover this whole inside pocket with that if you like. It really isn't going to matter too much. You don't want to shove it right to the edge because you want this to maintain a nice fold right here. So let's go ahead and make a mark here and cut that off. Oh, there it is. I can't find it. Just going to line that up, cut it off right there, bring this back over, and then let's cut it just to the inside. Might need a piece of washi tape over there. We'll cut it to the inside of it, right there. Okay, let's go ahead and doctor this up a little bit. What's the matter with you today, paper? You need some doctoring? You're headed to the farm to be a cookbook? Okay. Well, there you're already now. Oh, that's so cute too. Oh, we're gonna go with the blue. I can print this out again. So basically, this is just making a decorated writing flip for the journal, but you're making it into a belly band, which will actually make it better. Cakes, buns, and breads. What if we put that right on there? Can we make it fit? This does not need to be this long, but it could be. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Let's run some glue along here. Forgive my gluey fingertips. And let's put this right on there. I don't know if I made it or not. Let me see if I can hold it up to the light before it dries. Okay, let's cut it off and see what happened. Or let's just bend it. Ooh, look at that, I made it. So I want to trim part of that edge down because I am going to fold it under. And then we're going to come down here and trim it. So this piece that I measured, that I made, I just cut it, remember? I didn't measure it when I cut it. It is 4.5 inches long. Now, it doesn't need to be that long. It's just a closure holder. Look at this one is 3 1/8. It doesn't even need to be that big because it just needs to be glued down on both sides to hold that little tab to hold this belly band, writing belly band closed. So I'm just going to trim this side down, and then I need to trim this side down too because it's going off the end there. And I'm going to take a look at it and see how much of it I want showing. Well, I think since I have words on it, I'm going to leave the whole thing, but I'm going to run my glue like an inch on each side here. Let's see. Yes, like a whole inch on each side. That ought to hold that belly band down quite well. Oh, the dogs are playing, so if you hear barking, growling, whining, yapping, and it sounds like hubby's getting ready to take them down to get the mail. So they might be going to the post office. They get very excited about trips to town. Dogs are so cute. Oh gosh, my dog, my lab. She always, before she lays down with the bone, she brings it and gives it to me, and she wants me to pretend like I'm biting it. So I'll hold it up by my mouth and I'll make a yummy, yummy noise and all that. And then I'll hand it back to her and I'll say, thank you. That was very nice of you. Once I say that, she'll go lay down with it and chew on it. So yesterday she brought it to me and I did the yummy, yummy, yummy thing. And then she turned around and tried to get Ivy to take it. Ivy's our grand dog. It was the most adorable thing I've ever seen, you guys. It was like, oh, how sweet is that? Okay, so you're gluing here. My phone is ringing from Klamath Falls, Oregon. Do not know anyone there. So we're going to have to put up with its ring, because if I'll decline it. There we go. Okay, I can do it. Hee-hee. Look at me. Okay, hold this down for a little bit. Now, we know we want this to be able to tuck under there. So it needs to be glued corner to corner at a diamond shape down. So put your thumb up on this half, run your glue. This is your closure. It doesn't need to go up under there very far. Okay. Let's let that dry before we tuck it under. Now, the next thing we need on here are, we might as well use this piece. We might want some lines or some lined paper. You might want some clear paper, something like that. I'm going to use this paper up a little bit. Now I could go all the way and make a new crease there, and that would protect that area. Let's do that. Don't want to make it too fluffy there, because I don't want it to get in the way really. Because remember, this piece is a coffee dye that is very strong. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down to here and apply it. Now this is the area that you want to write in. Perhaps you're going to write a recipe in here. Perhaps it's one of your grandmother's secret recipes that nobody but you knows how to cook it or put it together. Grandma didn't leave anything out when she gave it, like she did to the daughter-in-law. No, That didn't happen to me, but I do know people that do that. They will only share the recipe with a few, if anyone, and then they pass on, and guess what? Family doesn't ever celebrate with that wonderful meal that they got from you because you hogged out the recipe until the day you died. So that doesn't really work too well. I mean, I hate to think of having never gotten my grandma's green salad recipe because we all love it so much, and there's so many memories surrounding that because when we'd get together, there was the green salad. You know, I would hate to be without it. See how that tucks under there? Just tiny bit. Okay, now let's finish up the inside. And I think I have some stray papers over here, so I'm going to toss this one in here. I'm just going to rip it and put it down. I think I might just go over this edge a little bit, just to decorate it up. I'm just going to put that over the top of that page. And then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the same thing. Oops, come back here. Don't you run away from me, because I will fetch you. So all that we're doing now is making the writing space for the recipe. Let's cut this down a little bit. And you can go through and why does it take so long to make all these goodies? I never understood it. I mean, I'm working here. It's not like I'm sloughing off, but it is 33 minutes already. Perhaps I'm too complicated. Am I too complicated? Oh dear. She's so complicated. All right, not that one. Let's take this one. So, let's get our tearing ruler. Tear it right across there. And we'll tear it oh no. Now I'm going to have to lay that piece down. See, I ripped it. Well, when you rip a piece like that, go ahead and take it in like that so it looks old. Just make the whole page look old now. Yeah, see, I was thinking I could get 3 belly bands done today, but I don't see how. Okay, now we need just a little piece right there. Let's go this way. And we'll put this on there. Okay, so the writing area of that is now done. See? And you can open it all the way up and have the whole recipe hidden in there. Then you just tuck this under right there. Now, remember, this is going to go on your page. And like I said, you may end up having to cut it down a little bit. If you do have to do that, make sure that you've left enough space over here to do so. Because remember, this page is going to be in the fold of your signature. So, belly band 1, let's take a look at it. It measures, remember I said go down 4 inches and cut it the long way on your paper. So we have 4 by, what is it, 11? Yep, it is 4 by, it's a piece of coffee dyed paper, so it's shrunk a little bit. It's shrunk almost 1/8 of an inch from its original size. So it's 4 by 11, by 10 and 7/8. 10 and 7/8. You can cut it by 11. Or you can cut it by 10. It depends on your page size. This is the length you're going to want to cut. Once it's cut, then you find your halfway mark, fold it, and score it. Now, if it's a heavily dyed coffee paper, you may have to patch the edges. Then what you do, once it's folded in half, is you need to get this measurement to clip it. Where am I going to cut it? So take one corner or the other. Remember, this one originally folds up with it. You're going to fold this all over. Remember, this one is normally even with that one. It's not now because we have it glued into position. So you bring the paper up and you make a little divot there, just on the corner. That's where you're going to cut this piece up to. Going to cut it right up to there. Then you're going to fold this piece up and crease it down. Now this piece, you're going to leave 1/4 of an inch right in here, 1/4 to 1/2 in here. So that is 1/2 inch right here. Ends up being about 1/4 inch right here with all the folds and stuff. So then you've got these 3 faux pockets. Now they could be used as a pocket if you don't want anyone to get into that recipe. Sure, use them as a pocket. You know, I mean, here we are. Let's have a look at that pocket. Yeah, we could have a faux pocket there and a faux pocket there. But the nice thing about it is inside of this is the hidden recipe from Great Grandma. What do you think of that? Cool, huh? So that's our first belly band. That is a pocket belly band. It'd definitely be easier to put those in if it was completely glue dry. Okay, so now the next one I thought about was a letter belly band. So if I was going to make a letter belly band, perhaps I would want this to show on this side. So fold it up and crease it. I'm going to darken this so you can see what I'm doing. Now this is just a 1/2 a sheet of paper that was folded, remember? It's just a half. I had it folded in half this way. So this one is measuring 5.5 inches. I know that's going to be too big of a belly band, and I really need to bring it down to about 5 1/8, because really, even though this other one is this big, we know that we're going to have to cut it down when it gets to the book, unless we put it front or back page, which is a possibility. So, making an envelope. First we have this piece, and then we want to bring this down. Now this is a nice wide belly band. It can come way down here. Let's see how that looks on a page. What do you think? Too wide of a belly band? We could make it smaller by going like this. And then we could bring this one down to right about there. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut this off. We'll make it flat along the edge. But you know what? I think I'm going to fold that to the inside and glue it, because I feel like the flap needs to be a little bit stronger. So I'm just going to cut along here, so I know that it's smaller than the area down below, so it doesn't interfere with the folding of the envelope. So we're going to fold that down. Oh look, I have a little dimple there. That's okay, we don't care about that. Just going to fold it, press it down. This is just giving us a nice little place there that we can fold it over. Now you could leave this open to write on, another writing belly band. And if that's the case, then you're probably going to want to strengthen this up back here with a little bit of something. If you're going to turn it into just a pocket, then you don't need to probably strengthen it up anymore. You just need to glue it down, and then we need to make a closure here once again. So for the closure, just like before, we are making them out of whatever here. Let's see. I'm going to cut this little piece off here. And then we need at least one of those. And we need, oh, where'd it go? There it is. We need to apply this to it. Right here. And then we need to apply at least half of one to the back. So let's just do this. Because when you open the envelope, this is going to show. That is the only reason I'm putting a backing on it. Plus, it strengthens it up a little bit. There's no doubt about that. So it looks like we'll get 2 belly bands done today. 2 writing belly bands. Okay, so this is going to go here. So once again, we'll glue from here to here and put glue down there. Somewhere in the center. Now we need something down here to hold that down. So once again, let's figure out what we want. And we're going to end up having to cover up some of our words. But let's use this red because that's so pretty. I love that gingham red. We need a couple of these. Oop, right here. Let's do that. I'm going to try it as a single fold this time. And I am not going to put it over that far. I think we'll just do it right to here. We'll make it, I'll tell you how long I'm making it. I am making it 2 5/8 long. Going to glue this down to this piece of paper here, but I want the red side to show because we have a little bit of red over here. Going to set that on there. Going to clip it off over here. Just going to fold that over right there. Okay. And I'm going to press that over there. Clip off some of that because we don't, oops, I almost clipped off my finger. That would have been good. Good thing there's a big piece of glue there. Sometimes glue comes in handy. That would have been a good one, wouldn't it? Well, any nurses out there might have to come and bandage me up. I always cut myself, so if I cut myself, I am so sorry. I'll just apologize right now. Okay, so we're going to glue this one down. I think I want it to tuck in just a little further than I did the other one. So, right about here. So I'm only doing about a 1/2 inch on each side this time. Put that where you think it needs to be. Hold it down. Just for a little bit. Now, this is ready to be glued into the book as a belly band with a writing spot or a recipe spot. Good place to hide those secret recipes. Let me cut this off just a little bit because I know it's going to have to be cut off. There we go. And then it becomes a belly band on the page. You just glue down both sides. Okay? Let's tuck this back in here. Now if you want this to be stronger, go ahead and back it with another piece of coffee dyed paper. That will strengthen the whole belly band up and will give you a better writing spot. But this is pretty good. Maybe we'll go ahead and use that back there. I mean, all it's going to do is strengthen it up a little bit. Make it a little bit better to something. Making it a little stronger backing. There we go. It looks like it's perfect recipe card size, doesn't it? Now, if you just want it to be an envelope, you can seal up the sides and tuck a recipe inside of it. Oh yes, we're talking about the back here. Not going to see the back because we're creating it as a belly band. There we go. Once that's dry, it'll be good and strong. Tuck that under there. Oops. Must not have got enough glue right there. Okay, so there we ended up with two really cool belly bands to hide your secret recipes. So we are on the start. Now, the nice thing about both of these belly bands is neither one requires anything other than the recipe either written on the inside or a little recipe card inserted in there to keep it a secret. So let me see if I have a little index card that, say we have our recipe on these. Oh, that's too big. So is that. So you would have to put your recipe on a little bit smaller card, that's for sure. I could make these a little bigger then, but really I didn't want to. So we will have to have a recipe card that's only about this big. And it could tuck in there. It would still fall out here, but that's why I think I would write it. I cut this at 2 3/8. And then it's normally a 3x5. And a 2 3/8 would fit either pocket. Okay. So there's two new writing belly bands. Belly bands you can write in. And that is our video for today. So I will make the other one on my own. And I will bring it back to you and show it to you when we do our next video. And our next video will come up with our next piece of ephemera, and it'll probably be pockets, but I'll see what I can come up with to make them just a little bit different. So hope you all had a good time, and I will see you tomorrow with a new ephemera idea or an old ephemera idea with my take on it. So, and right now, someone is doing pockets. Is it Dee Dee? I don't remember. Somebody's doing pockets right now. So that's a really good video to check out. Okay, I will see you later. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you later. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. Bye.